Every time the algorithm shifts, you feel it. What you don't always see is why.
Pour a cup of clarity, sip a spark of insight. Coffee with karma, your morning feels just right.
It's not about mastering the algorithm, it's about not needing to. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 principles for perfecting your business platform risk. And as my lens, I will be using a funny thing happened on the way to the forum because something you're posting, something you're hosting, something can disappear from your site, something you're renting, something worth protecting, something they can't take because you build it right. Oh, that was fun. Hey, my name is Carma Spence, and I'm in the wrong book prevention business. I work with established experts to help them write the right book and market it the right way so that the book is best positioned to achieve the goal that they want it to, whether that is more clients, more speaking gigs, better partnerships, or any combination thereof. Before we move on, please take a moment to like this video, comment below, share it with your colleagues, and subscribe to my YouTube channel so that the YouTube algorithm will know that videos like these are for people like you who want to grow their business with books. So let's get to those 5 principles, shall we? Principle number 1. A slave who owns nothing owns his wit. Your list, your site, your direct relationships are the things a platform can't repossess. So, case in point, a few years ago, on New Year's Eve, actually on New Year's Day, someone who was following me on Instagram messaged me and said, "Hey, I'm selling these new t shirts. Would you click this link and check it out for me? I'd love to hear what you think." I'm a kind person. It did not occur to me that this was a hacking ploy. So within a couple of hours, I lost access to Instagram/Carma Spence. Lost it. I couldn't get back in because I'd never set up the video recognition thing. And uh, Instagram would not let me back into my own account. And the hacker has now since been going and asking everyone who followed that account. So that's why I am now at the real Karma Spence. So if you're, and of course, I lost a lot of my followers because I didn't know who they were. But I was able to go to all the people I knew and say, hey, I have this new account. Here you go. Please don't, please unfollow that other account. And this is what's going to happen if you don't. And I warned people as best I could. I posted videos on all my platforms, sent an email, and for the most part, people who were following me in other locations unfollowed the original account and followed my new account, which grew at first faster from 0 to about 200 in about a month because of people I was able to find. My relationships, my email list, those things I owned. And so they were able to help me rebuild my new account. What do you own? Make sure that you're nurturing what you own, okay? Because if you're not nurturing your email list, you actually end up losing it because people, when you do find the email, they're like, who's this? I don't know who this is. And they unsubscribe. Countless times I've been subscribed to someone's list, didn't even know it because they weren't emailing. And about 6 months later, like, hi, I'm rebuilding. I'm sorry I haven't emailed you. And sometimes I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'll stay subscribed. And sometimes I'm like, oh, I've gone in a new direction now. I'm sorry. So you want to be continuously nurturing your list. Ideally, emailing at least once a week is the best. Interestingly enough, when I went to 5 days a week, I actually increased my open rate and my unsubscribe rate went down. Crazy, huh? Principle number 2. Every character that Pseudolus juggles is a separate channel. Hero, Miles, Senex, Domina. He never depends on any one relationship holding because honestly, they keep doing something unexpected. He thinks Senex is gone. Oop, here he comes home. Oops. And his goal for the film is to get his freedom. And the way he's figured it out is that if he can connect Hero to the love of his life, then Hero will set him free. So you never want to depend on any one channel. Right now, I'm not depending on any one channel. I emphasize LinkedIn and Facebook because I've actually gotten clients from those two channels. Instagram is pretty much there for visibility. Pinterest gives me traffic to my website, but I don't depend on any of those things. I mean, LinkedIn has literally throttled a lot of my stuff, and I can no longer share outside links. So I have to do this weird thing like, if you want the link, raise your hand, which honestly is thoroughly annoying. I'm sorry. That's why people use social media. They want organic ways to get people to their sites. And now social media sites are saying, no, you can't do that. Sorry. I mean, at some point, I think people are just going to go, maybe you're not worth it. Or maybe we're all so addicted to social media that won't happen. Ah, we'll find out. But anyway, just understand that the only real thing that you own is your website and your email list and your relationships. And you can lose all of those if you don't take care of them. Don't pay your monthly bills, don't nurture your list, don't update your website. All right, let's move on to principle number 3. Improvisation only works if you've built the range to improvise in. Pseudolus' quick pivots work because he already had multiple relationships and levers in play, not because he was lucky. He'd been building up those relationships all along so that he would spin multiple plates. And when you're improvising, you need a container in which to improvise in. Take Whose Line Is It Anyway? I used to watch the British version, then I watched the American version. I've watched it through so many different hosts. In Whose Line It Is Anyway, they have containers for their improvisation. There's a rule. So, like, there's one where they have a statement like things you can say to your barber, but not your wife. And so that's the container of the improvisation. Or they have something like there's two people and they're in this scene and the other two people are props. So the improvisation has to be within that. They have another game where whatever word the person ends on, the other person has to start with. There are rules to the improvisation. It's a game and it builds the container for the improvisation. It is extremely hard to just say, get on stage, improvise, go. I've had to improvise. One time I worked for a company called SEO. It doesn't exist anymore. It was one of the early companies doing interfaces like you find on a Mac and a PC today. It was called Unix. They had their own version called Xenix. And every year, the employees would put on a big show. And I was involved in the show for 3 years. And the last year, I got roped into being one of the hosts. And my character was Wanda. And I had learned my lines based on my co hosts. Well, my co host forgot his lines. And we almost forgot to segue into a certain segment that had been there were like live segments and then there were pre-recorded segments. And as I was going into I realized, "Oh my god, we forgot this." And so I improvised and saved the show. I mean, after the show, so many people who were behind the scenes were freaking out and going, "Oh my god, we're losing this segment." And then Karma saved the day. I improvised. Scary ass stuff. I am not that great at it, but in that moment, I had my little 15 minutes of fame. So, if you want to be able to improvise like Pseudolus does, you need to set up the stages, the ranges, the containers. That means build the relationships, nurture your email list, maintain your website, post to your socials on a regular basis. 3 times a week is usually enough. I post more often, but 3 times is enough. So, it's not that hard to maintain the minimum viable amount. And that allows you to improvise when the algorithms shift and decide, you know what, we used to like video, now we like, I don't know, interpretive dance. Who knows? I mean, Instagram used to be fine with people having channels that were pretty much nothing but shared content. Now, if most of your content is shared, sorry, you're being throttled. Links used to be okay, now they're not. I mean, the algorithms are doing what they want to do for their own business model. They're not going to ask you, and it's just going to change. So you need to be able to build the kind of habits, the habitual muscles to be able to switch and improvise when those algorithms shift. Principle number 4. The moment the plan collapses is not the moment to build the next plan. The next plan needs to already exist before the first one falls apart. S- Pseudolus was master of that. Again, he'd built the relationships, he'd set things up in motion in other ways. And then when something came, he's like, okay, time to move over to this stage. All right, let's move over to that stage. Let's do this, let's do that. Because he already had the plan B in the back of his mind. That's why you build the containers for improvisation, because sometimes the plan B you planned is not going to work. So plan C needs to be improvised, but you've set the stage so that plan C can come to light much more quickly. This is why you need to have little backup plans. Like, okay, for example, I've built backup plans for how I do my life because every once in a while I can't do the things I want to do. I am now co-helping take care of my father-in-law who has dementia, and he can walk into this room right while I'm recording, and while I'm talking to you, he can start talking to me because he can't hear very well and he doesn't remember things, and I've had that happen. And so I've got these little backup plans to kind of work it. Anyway, have backup plans. Have them in waiting because you never know when, and I've shared this on a previous episode of Coffee with Carma before, but in 2016, I got hit by a car. My whole life changed. My whole life changed. Believe me, plan A did not happen. And I was engaged to be married at the time. We almost thought we were going to have to put off the wedding. Thankfully, I got hit in February. We got married in October. And I was able to dance at my wedding because I went to therapy. And honestly, I think God healed me because I had doctors say, "Why aren't you dead or brain dead?" And none of that happened. And I healed fairly fast. Now, there are repercussions that are going on for decades afterwards. Yay, me. But I'm here. And I could have very well not been. So you never know when your number is up. You never know when something unexpected is going to happen. So always have a plan B and maybe even a plan C. Principle number 5. Freedom is earned through movement, not permission. Waiting for a platform to grant you reach is hero waiting for Senex's blessing to get married. Studalist just goes, hey, let's make this happen. That's what you have to do. You have to just make things happen. And sometimes that's uncomfortable, and that's okay because no one's going to hand you your business on a plate. They aren't. Even if they want to, they're not going to because they're dealing with their life. So you need to decide what you want, get clear on that, and maybe even get clear on a couple of plans to get there, and then act, 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 act. Act imperfectly. Improvise, just move. It's like I talk to a lot of people who they want to write a book, but they need to do this first, and they need to do that first. They need to do the other thing first. That book's never going to get written. It's never going to get written until you decide you're going to write the book and you just start doing it. So there you go. Until next time, when I will be using the film Abira Horror of the Deep to talk about 3 steps to escape from platform dependency because the characters are trying to escape from the island. Until then, this is Carma Spence saying ciao for now.